Second.
Yeah.
Okay, pretty easy, right?
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
What do you like most about what you've seen out of Sakai Ziegler coming off the bench?
Just him being who he really is and the way he can impact the game in so many different ways, and just the fact that so much what he did a year ago, the speed of the game changes, and he is, every game he's done it now, it's been a difference in terms of the tempo once he comes into the game. In terms of, I think, the aggressiveness too, obviously he knows more there than, say, Tyreek when Tyreek's at the point, but Tyreek will continue to get where he needs to go, but he brings a little bit more aggressive attack to it. And defensively, what he and Santi and our whole team, Jemima, Shaq, and really, they've all done a great job on that end.
Coach, what was your biggest takeaway from Atlantis?
I thought really, probably as a staff, the way our guys were really focused in on our game plan, because you have a normal procedure to get ready for the first game against Butler, but then the next 2 days it's a quick turnaround, and the fact that we had great concentration, we really played our scout report well in both of those games. Our defensive effort was terrific in terms of what we felt like we needed to get done in both of those games. Offensively, I think that, again, I don't think we've hit our stride yet in terms of getting our feet under us totally, but playing against a very physical team in Butler, then zone for really 38 minutes, and then coming back against Kansas, who they were good. They had a lot to do with those turnovers, but just the fact that our guys they're really bought into each other, and they know what their roles are and what they need to do to help us be successful.
Rick, is there anything new on Josiah?
No, same thing. It's really up to him. We want him to be 100% healthy when he's ready to play, and he did do a little bit yesterday, but only he knows where he really is, and I think mentally he's got to feel good about it when he's ready to go.
Was it up to him before those games?
Yeah. We're leaving it up to him to. Again, we want him to. It's been made clear to him. We want him to feel comfortable, and certainly we're never going to ask anybody not to play when they don't feel that way. But we just want him to feel good about it himself, and as much as he's put into the program, he'll know when it's ready.
What does it say about your team that you won that tournament without James?
Well, I think depth. I think that we go back a year ago. We had a terrific ending to our regular season last year, and winning the SEC championship in the postseason tournament without Olivier. It gave it another chance, someone else to step up. Jemima Shaq's done a good job. Julian obviously has had to grow up real quickly, a lot quicker than maybe we might have thought he would have to, but he's done a good job. And then I still think that Jonas is getting minutes, that he might not get as many of those minutes. So when someone goes down, regardless of who it is an opportunity for other guys to have a chance to get out there and play. And the more I think anybody plays, they're going to get better with it if they really understand those minutes are valuable, and they've got to make the most of them.
You worried that Josiah's injury will linger throughout the season and be a problem?
No, I mean I hurt for him. I'm not going to say I worry about it, because you know what? I mean, we're in sports, and these things happen in sports. I mean, you've got to be ready, and I think, again, like I just said, it's a compliment. We all hurt for him because we know what he's meant to this program and what he does still mean to this program, and you don't want to see anybody being in this situation. But the fact is, if we're concerned that he can't do what we know that he wants to do, but that's sports, and but he's got time, and he'll keep doing what he needs to do to, I'm sure, to get himself where he feels like he can help us. And I don't think he would play if he didn't think he could help us.
Rick, what did Jonas do down in the Bahamas that was so good, and did he kind of grow up a little bit during that tournament?
Well, his length was really impressive. I mean, he actually got a tough call on when you look at it on tape, it was one of those bang plays, but he actually had a great block where he ran it down from behind. I haven't seen him do that in a long time, where he just, his speed coming down the floor, trying to clean that up, and but his length, I mean, he created some turnovers from out of bounds situations, dead ball situations, and the fact is, he can shoot the ball. He needs to shoot it, as opposed to trying to guide it right now, because he's a guy that he's got great touch. But I think the minutes he's playing is all new to him in some way. But he is, he's making strides.
You talked after, I think it was Kansas, about the guys holding each other accountable. It seemed like last season that didn't start to happen until late January. How important is it that they're already holding each other accountable this early?
Well, you'd like for it to be this early after what we went through a year ago, and they know it. You know, we talked about it, and the fact is that with the number of guys we have back, you'd like to see it happen and expect it to happen, but they understand and they want to be good, and obviously we've shown that we've got a real competitive spirit with this group of guys, and I think they know too it's never going to be easy. I don't care who we play, and they know that they've got to be ready, but the fact that they are holding each other accountable and holding each other at a very high standard is what you want from a coaching staff.
You talked a lot about defense, especially in the Bahamas. How do you look to your defense to set the tone in these games early?
Well, it's there, and we got to have it. We've talked about even on nights when we might not be scoring the ball the way we would like to. We've got to find a way to create some offense and make it tough on people to score. And we feel that if we can do that and rebound the ball on both ends, and we'll find a way to generate enough points, we hope. But with that said, we've still got areas that we can get better defensively. And we talked a lot about trying to win those one-on-one individual battles that you're in throughout the game. We've got guys that do try to make some really good fix-it plays for us, but our on-ball defense for the most part in the tournament was really good, where we were able to control the ball and cushion the ball and contest and contain and contest, and that's where we can continue to get better, because if you're not shooting the ball well, if your opponent's not shooting the ball well, they're just going to try to get downhill on you, and we did a pretty good job against a team that does that about as well as anyone in Kansas.
Talked a lot about in games where you guys shoot a lot of threes, you guys have to attack the glass and get a lot of offensive rebounds. Was what y'all did in that respect against Kansas kind of the formula?
Well, inside out is what we want to do. I mean, and whether it's throwing it into the post or playing with dribble penetration, again, us getting downhill with it, there's a balance, and I think, we still need more production out of our post guys inside. I do think that. We've got to continue to improve there. Our perimeter guys are being defended extremely hard. There are people like Southern Cal pushed way out there. They were willing to give us what we wanted inside the lane there. They were just determined, again, not to let us get wide open threes. And then you go back to Kansas. They played out the scout report the way that we will be played most of the time, and guarding certain guys, maybe cushioning other guys. So as our guys continue to learn that, and we'll watch tape and show them the adjustments that have to be made when those type of situations occur. But the fact is, we like to have great balance both inside and out.
What about turnovers? I know that was a concern over the weekend. How do you limit those moving forward?
Well, again, you got to give some of those turnovers, you got to credit your opponent, because they do create some of those and early. But we were, the speed, the game, the physicality, we were, most of those turnovers occur when you turn down shots. If you take the first good shot you get, but when you maybe don't feel as confident as you need to be, and you think, well, I got to maybe try to get it close or try to do something else. And they're hearing us say, hey, we need to get to the foul line, and there's a fine line there but most of the turnovers, they're happening because we're not really ball quick, whether it's interior passing, whether it's ill-advised passing, and again, some of it, our opponent has something to do with some of it.
Did you like the way you attacked the zone defense in Southern Cal?
Yeah, I mean, we knew what they were doing. I mean, we've played against that defense forever. I mean, it's not. We actually run that zone a year ago when we had one, and so we know where the holes are. But it still gets down. You got to make shots. It's funny when you talk to people and you'll hear them say, "Hey, when they're shooting the ball, they can beat anybody." You can say that about probably 150 teams. Yeah, I mean, when you're shooting it, makes it all easier, but it's nice when you're not shooting it. Can you still find a way to win? But the fact is, we had some shots in there that were good shots, and again, you can't coach that. You can't control that. Players certainly want to make all their shots. Coaches want them to make them, but that's what makes the game an interesting game. When, again, nights when you're not making shots, can you find a way to get done enough to get it done? And that's where it comes back to your defense and trying to create something with that.
At the beginning of the season, you said Jemai has to do the little things in order to see playing time. What makes him so good at those little things that he does see playing time?
He's competitive, and it's in his DNA. I mean, he's a competitor, and Jemai's strong now. He's guarded anybody on the court. I mean, we don't care who we play. We think that he can guard any position on the court, and he is extra effort. I mean, he's a guy that I can assure you, when teams go through a scouting report and say, hey, when this guy comes in the game, you better get ready because he's coming at it. You know, he's going to get to the glass. He's going to try to get him extra possessions. He's going to guard, and he made a couple great defensive plays, one-on-one defensive plays where he stayed in front of some really good players and actually blocked a shot with his left hand. And it's fun because he's just scratched the surface to what he can be as a player. But the fact is, right now, he knows what we need him to do, and he knows what he's good at, and he's playing to it.
What do you know about McNeese State?
You know, they've been playing a lot of 1-1-3 zone back. They've got good offensive explosion. They can get going, and playing a daunting schedule, as you can imagine. But the fact is, they will come in and they're going to compete. They're going to compete extremely hard, but their zone, they're aggressive in it. They have different wrinkles out of it, so we'll have to be able to take care of the ball again and try to do what we think we need to do against it.
Thanks, Coach.